Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quill and Sword. This is a game where a bunch of us writer friends get together and play some Dungeons and Dragons, and we are all about that life. We have quite the session for you tonight. It is close to Halloween. We're super excited. We have Robin back. Yay! So before we get into the recap, shout out to Sirenscape. We love them. They're helping us with the sound effects, and they're going to make it super immersive for us tonight. With that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and roll a d4, and whoever it lands on is going to give us their version of a recap. Oh, Sanita, you're up.
Oh.
The dice have been picking on you for weeks in a row, I see.
Oh my god.
I noticed. Well, it just likes ones.
And I have no excuse for last time because I was completely lucid. But so it turns out the lion people are fucking disrespectful. And we had to fight our way out of the elven village, town, castle, place, city, yeah, residential area. I think maybe we could have done well, scaring a few more, but sometimes you gotta cut your losses and then come back stronger than ever, like Goku.
Right?
I'm gonna go down the line, and the way my video camera is, Steven's next, but then after Steven, it's Nathaniel.
So, after the assault on the suburban residential area, we fled. Now, Masquerade had fled separately with Giselle, and I believe also the people who had been trying to capture her before. So Mask fled with all them separately, while the rest of us tried to help for a little bit, and until we were like, no, we got to split. And we were able to leave the city finally and get back on the road. Not too long after doing so, we encountered a fellow with a broken down cart, and I'll hand it over to Marissa.
Yeah, but before any of the fighting with the Azlari began, I just want to note that Nim ate a bunch of, I believe they were sun peppers, very spicy. There were 0 Tums at the general store in that suburban city area, whatever it was. So, but anyway, yes. So after leaving the city, after fighting several Azlari, we run into a broke down cart with a... I can't remember his name, but Kevin is the one that's dead, right? Because Kevin sucked. Nobody liked him.
Right.
But we were going to help, whatever. What was his name? Man. He was he wanted to go to the Nimple place, city, suburban setting, building. No. He was trying to take a report back, I believe. He had to take some scrolls, yes, into the city. And we were going to accompany him, not by choice necessarily, just in that we were going the same way. And, may as well.
So I guess that leaves Robin.
Yeah, I actually watched the video right before we started streaming, so I am kind of prepared for this. For what it's worth, I don't remember the guy's name either, so it must have only been said once, and it just, does it really matter? I do remember that he was wearing purple robes, however, as a mark of his station in the Scriptorium. Scriptoriad?
Scriptoriad is the organization. Scriptorium is the singular of a location.
Oh, so those are both words.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, you guys have it all pretty well and truly covered. What I do know is that I'm pretty sure the Azlari have made our list of things to do eventually.
the to-do list, and by do we mean eliminate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you guys did an awesome job recapping. We're going to go ahead and dive into our intro for Quill and Sword. All right, welcome back. So we are going to dive straight into this. So you guys had just arrived back in Voirais. And after finding yourselves some accommodations, it's probably a good idea for you guys to rest, I would imagine. Does anyone want to do any shopping or anything before that happens?
So, before I part company with the adults that I have been escorting for the moment, I'm going to pull the guy aside and, gently let him know that he's gonna have to be a bit more subtle, and that if he finds himself incapable of being a bit more subtle, what he should remember and bear in mind is that he will never know who I am. He will never know which of the people around him is waiting with the knife. So that is good incentive for him to behave himself and to not get myself or my friend in trouble.
Aha. Good to know. So, yes, Sarah and Gareth part ways with you. And you guys now have Giselle in your company as well. Masquerade, you actually escorted them safely through the mess, so that way Giselle didn't have to fight and endanger her life. So, tell me, what sort of accommodations are you guys looking for?
I'm just looking for something with a performance space.
Okay. Well,
and before we get too far into this, I am going to give to Nim the Ring of Magic Detection.
Okay.
From before, because I'm going to present it to him and say, I think you might be the only one of us for whom this would actually be useful.
I take it and I say, well, thank you very much. This is pretty, I like it so much. I'm not sure. What is the appropriate finger to wear a Ring of Magic Detection on? Should I wear it all the time? Should I put it on a necklace? Should it just go in my pocket? Should I put it by my Ring of Steve's bells? I don't know. How does one do this? I'm not very fancy.
Whatever finger fits is generally the best one to wear the ring on.
And she puts it on her pointer finger.
Okay, and it fits like a glove. So you now have a Ring of Magic Detection. And you guys are in the city proper of Dorienne, which is the capital of Voirais. There are streamers pretty much always strung between buildings. There are trees that are currently gorgeous colors of autumn just everywhere. Reds, oranges, fiery yellows. And as you walk these streets, you come upon an inn that looks fancy but affordable. It's sort of like that place where the people of the working class like to feel like they're upper class sort of things. And specifically, what would catch Wisp's attention is that this particular space has a curtained and well-designed performance space. So Wisp can absolutely perform to their heart's content. So, Wisp, it just so happens that you, as you guys are approaching, you hear vomiting from the alley and shouting in Voirasian, followed by a man saying, "Well, now I have no entertainment for this evening. Wonderful."
I shall approach whoever is speaking in the alley. So I guess you might want to paint whatever the scene is for me. I'm assuming somebody just threw up.
Yes. So you see this woman with a shock of white hair amidst a bunch of brown. And she has like one side of her head shaved, and she's just vomiting profusely and hiccuping occasionally, which just, she's like, "Oh, that burns." And you see a portly man, balding on top, with a very thick and well-waxed mustache. And he is unloading this lute, followed by a lyre, and just all these instruments into the alley beside this woman. "I always tell you not to drink too much. You never listen."
Excuse me, good sir.
"Oh, yes?"
Don't mean to interrupt, but you seem to... Sounds like you're in a little bit of an issue. You were short of entertainment?
"Unfortunately, my daughter here can't hold her liquor, and she also doesn't know when to stop."
Knowing when to stop is very important. Also, knowing when you can push on and take one more is also important. So I prefer to think of it as she's developing that skill and realizing where the line is.
"You are very, very well spoken. Are you a performer, judging by the way you dress?"
I am.
"You're hired. If you'll take dinner, a room, and all you can drink for the evening."
Would throw in a spare room for additional members of my party who themselves are not under obligation to perform, and I'll be happy to.
And he looks to the woman vomiting, and then he looks to you. Make a persuasion check.
All right.
You can have advantage because of the situation at hand.
All right, so let me roll that again. So that's 18.
18. So just when he looks like he's about to say no, you hear another "Ugh!" And he looks to you. "You're hired." And he throws a sack of coins at you. "Take this too."
I will catch that.
You have 15 gold pieces added to your inventory.
Whee! So I'll just ask, and curtain goes up when?
And he looks to the crowd, and he looks to you, and judging by the fact that you guys were getting here right around mealtime, he's like, "Now."
I can work with now. So I'll exit the alley. I will alert the other members of the party, like, we have accommodations for the night, and I have a show. And I will head on in and head to the backstage area.
Okay, so you very easily find your way to the backstage area, and there is actually an area for the backstage here. It's really quite nice. There's even a little table set up with a mirror and a palette of makeups, so you can really do just about whatever you want. There is some costume jewelry, though none of it seems accommodated to fawns, whereas fawns like to decorate their horns and things. None of it's really designed for that, but it's mostly human fare.
So I'm gonna see if I can find just a little bit of, say, some purple eyeliner, and just a touch of blush. Other than that, I'm already perfect.
Okay. You can easily enough find that. Go ahead and make a performance check for the makeup, for your performance, everything.
Okay. That is not my best. You know what? I want to use one of my inspiration because, like, I'm not screwing around with this.
Okay.
There we go. 22.
22.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm just going to let you take over and describe how this performance goes.
So the performance begins with the curtain open, and I hold center stage for round about 10 seconds, unmoving, just long enough for people to like start to go. That's when the lute comes out, and it starts with just a simple, slow performance on the instrument, and beginning to pace about the stage, and it just seems very low key and very calming. As I get an assessment as I walk of how sturdy the stage is and feel with my hooves for any weak points as I'm moving, because again, I'm a professional and I do not fuck with this shit. So after I do a couple of passes that way, it picks up a little bit, and then the hooves start to be brought in to have the tapping and the rhythm added to what I'm doing. And so that within the next few minutes, it becomes a much more energetic dance, almost sort of river dance-esque in terms of the foot movements, but also being sure to incorporate twirls and get a spin on my outfit. And as I build to a little bit of a crescendo over several minutes, ending with a full forward flip and landing in superhero pose with the front hoof giving a proper slam to the number and bowing in the exact same motion.
And as you do that, the crowd erupts with cheers. In fact, Nim, Anu, and Masquerade, you notice that Wisp's performance even draws in some new patrons from the streets who glance in the windows, which are actually made of glass, paned glass, or they come through the doorway and they see the performance and they gather around and they begin ordering drinks. And you see that the barkeeper is actually quite busy because of this performance. And so he, at one point, will lean over to all of you at your table and say, "Your friend's pretty good."
Our friend's
Pretty
pretty
good.
great.
You should
Fair
see our
enough.
friend in a fight.
A fight?
Well, we won't do that here, but I'm just saying. There's nothing our Wisp can't do. I don't suppose. I mean, I've never seen Wisp go swimming. Maybe Wisp can't swim, but that's not important. What I'm saying is Wisp is great.
We also may get in a fight here, just saying. That tends to happen around us.
Oh dear. Let's.
This
not
isn't that
do
kind
that.
of bar. It's fine.
And you don't have a chandelier, so I don't see any damage that we could cause readily. So it should be fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
And he sort of glances behind to this room that's cut off with double doors, and you see as one of the staff go through, there is a chandelier in that room. And he just sort of like backs toward that door a little bit.
Well, we'll be sure to stay out of that room, I suppose.
Now I feel like going there just on principle.
Oh dear.
And as he approaches the door, you do just hear the faintest turn of a lock. And
It's adorable that he thinks that's going to stop her.
And yeah, so for the rest of you that are in the crowd, I would like you to give me perception, investigation, or insight, your choice, for what you can pick up on the hot goss and different elements of this room.
Perception,
Ooh,
investigation, or what?
25.
Insight.
25 insight. Yeah, I nat 20'd.
19.
Oh, wait.
19.
Hang on.
Also
I
respectable.
Oh, view, character, view. Let's go. There we go. I'm slacking. I completely keep forgetting about this website. Insight. Investigation. Oh, I'm gonna go with insight right off the bat.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
That is a fair thing to do.
That is disrespectful. The fuck. All right, whatever. I got a 13.
Oh my goodness. 13. Okay. So Anu,
I should have did perception.
as you are scanning the area just a little bit, you know, like rogues do, you become keenly aware that there seems to be an increased presence of guards in this bar. Not necessarily focused on you, but just in general, almost like they tend to be more in force around dusk-ish. And they're just among the people, but while they're being among the people having a drink, they still clearly look like they're looking for something. Masquerade, with your role, you can overhear whispers among those guards about missing children. And Marissa...
Which is definitely going to prompt me to, like, just hold Giselle a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm. Marissa, you can hear that they're talking about missing mages at times, but Masquerade, because of your high roll, you're the only one to connect that the mages and the children are the same. And furthermore, you connect that this is somehow associated with kids that are on their way to the scriptorium of Dorienne, which is one of the largest scriptoriums in the world. And you also, furthermore, because you got your nat 20, can ascertain that it seems that there was a large group of children that went missing just last night. Like an entire caravan's worth of mage kids going to the scriptorium just vanished.
So I am definitely going to sit near Nim, and I have learned not to say things like this out loud when they're going on, when there are people around. So I'm just gonna write a note and just pass it. Yeah, that was more or less the reaction I was expecting. We seem to have something to investigate.
And
This is huge.
Wisp's performance draws to a close, and the evening wanes. Eventually, those of you who choose may go to bed. Who all is sleeping, or trancing in the case of Anu?
I mean, eventually, but I mean, I'm gonna take advantage of my free drinks first.
Of course. Actually, make a Constitution saving throw to see how many you can get through.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, geez. I rolled a 5.
A 5? Okay. So, you get through probably what would be about, we'll say 12 gold's worth of drinks. So, nothing huge, but like, they're nice drinks, you know? And you get a little bit outpaced because they're nice, and it quickly gets the better of you, and you start feeling tipsy pretty early on. So, right around the time that the earliest person starts going to bed, you're just about slizzard.
Okay, so I don't... I'm not entirely sure how late I'm going to stay up. What are people's plans?
Oh, it's going to take a while for me to get tired enough to turn in for the night. I have a lot to think about.
I don't want to go to bed. And Giselle, like, stretches. I want to do something with the chandelier. Or the hearth.
You did talk to Anu about the chandelier. She's yeah.
I'm going to pass the girl to Nim.
All right, Giselle. Well, chandeliers can be a lot of fun, but I think we need to have a plan instead. And so maybe we could talk about, what's appropriate when it comes to chandeliers, like looking at them, admiring them, not touching them, not throwing things at them, not shooting crossbows or flames of any kind. So, maybe we could talk about that. And then tomorrow, just, enjoy the presence of a chandelier.
But how do they light it?
I'm sure that's somebody's job. It's at a very important position, and maybe we could find out, and you could talk to that person if you'd like. Maybe, I don't know.
Can I fire that person and do their job?
Well, no, but maybe you could help them a little bit. We'll see. Maybe they have a special stick they use to light the candles, and then you could help them light that stick, I suppose.
I'm gonna lean over to Anu and go like, you just got called out really bad.
I want to do the chandelier job. I want to shoot fire at it. Anu, let's go shoot fire at it.
Oh dear.
Far too many people awake. We'll get caught.
Oh, you're right. But fire is loud and big, and it makes you get caught.
Exactly. It's a lose-lose situation.
Oh. I don't want to get caught. I don't want to go to bed.
What if there was, I don't know, maybe a story in it for you? Maybe a nice glass of warm milk and a story. And then after that, we could see if maybe you were tired, or we could talk about other things, or I don't know. It might be fun to go see what our rooms look like and see how cozy it is.
And right around the time that you get just done with that sentence, you hear this and she's already asleep on your lap.
Lightweight.
Keep a weather eye on that one tonight, all right?
Absolutely. So I want to pack Giselle in my arms and take her to our room.
Okay. So you take Giselle to your room, and it is a very lavish room, actually. These rooms are pretty opulent. They have curtained beds, and there are 2 curtained, big beds meant for 2 people, or sometimes more even, because these are about a king size, and they have these really thick feather mattresses. And they're covered with really nice sheets that are a higher thread count than you're used to. And it is just gorgeous. There is a bathtub behind one of those folding walls with some running water on the other side. So Dorienne actually has a pipeline for running water. And it looks like one of them is even designed to be hot water. And there's a massive hearth, and it has a little kettle that's hanging over it. And it is ornately decorated with pastoral scenes framed with what is meant to look like gold-leafed wooden frames, but you can tell is not actually gold leafing and is just kind of made to look that way. So it's not quite as opulent as it gives off, but it's definitely more opulent than probably most are used to.
Mm-hmm. I want to go in there and just kind of I still got Giselle in my arms, well, this is fancy. Nim, don't get used to this. This is probably not going to be anything like what you're going to have moving forward, but where should I put this kid? That's obviously a feather bed. How flammable is that? Is she going to flame in her sleep? I don't know. It's probably abusive to put her in the bathtub, but that's the safest. You don't put a kid in the hearth, but what about this kid? Oh dear, this is just... Oh, goodness. And so I just take off her shoes and drop them on the floor and then put her in one of the beds and tuck her in.
Okay.
Let's hope that this is okay. Oh dear. I'll just keep an eye on her and hopefully, I don't know. I'm pretty quick, I suppose, and the fire doesn't seem to hurt her, so okay.
As you put her down, she's just sort of like grabbing onto your hand and she doesn't want to let go in her sleep.
Well, I'll just sit by her and hold her hand.
Okay. While you do that, Wisp, Anu, and Masquerade, what are you guys planning on doing right now?
Well, since I have not seemed to have, as good as my performance was, as I have not seemed to have attracted the attention that is worth staying up for, I think I'm going to pass out. So,
okay.
Good night. And I will head up to the room, and I will flop down on the bed with no regard for whether or not my horns pierce anything.
Okay. Go ahead and make a general dexterity check.
That is going to be a 20.
Okay, so thankfully you don't stab through the pillow, and so you can fairly easily reposition yourself in the night as need be.
Okay.
Masquerade and Anu, what are you up to?
So I want to get Anu's attention at some point and also share the note that I have shared with Nim.
Okay.
So that we're all clear on what is going on right now. And I am going to be like, I don't plan on going to sleep immediately. Someone needs to be keeping watch, and I want to see if I can hear anything else going on over the course of the night. But come morning, I think it's a good idea to start really looking into this.
Fair enough. I want to go look into my past lives to see if I can find any information to help with the... I can't remember the names.
The Aslari?
Yes, the Aslari. Because I'm going to go back.
We will go back. As soon as we've got a solid plan and a way to actually handle this, we will go back. And, like, Mask doesn't actually say the words, I promise, but the tone implies it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I do a little bow curtsy, and I head up to the room.
All right. So you head up to the room, and you begin trancing. I need you to make an insight or investigation or religion check.
Okay, let's see. Insight, investigation, religion. I'm gonna go with insight, and let's don't screw with me. Just oh my god. Can I quit for today and then just come back next time?
Wow, what'd you get?
14.
A 14. Okay. That's not terrible. So, as you trance, you begin, your vision sort of leaves your body, and you feel your awareness shifting. And as it does, you begin to feel and see this cool, vaporous mist rolling in behind you until it completely envelops your surroundings, and you find yourself in an eerily silent woods. The woods looks fairly similar to the woods in this area. The trees are a little bit thinner and longer, taller, with graying and white barks in addition to the more standard maple and oaken fare. And you notice that the trees have no leaves. Your feet crunch on dead ones beneath you briefly, and something moves in your periphery. Something big. Something snake-like. You hear a deep, rumbling voice that calls your name. Anew. It is anew, isn't it?
Who wants to know?
The one you've been toying with at every turn. And you see what looks like you as a player would recognize as probably the size of a train, but it looks almost like an armored snake just whoosh past in the distance behind the trees through the mist.
I've been toying with people. When did this happen?
When you have ruined my intentions. But know that they'll still happen. They always happen. Because people, whether human, elf, or otherwise, always sin! And you see this maw of gaping teeth in a petaled mouth lunge towards you, and your vision just... And it's the middle of the night. You're in the middle of your room. Nim and the child are sleeping on the bed. Masquerade, where are you at? About 4 hours after all of that.
So, when all of this got started, my plan was to go change into some more subdued clothes and see if I could get on the roof. Because while I could sit in the room downstairs the whole time and watch from there, that doesn't mean nobody's going to come in through the window. And I'm in ultra paranoid mode because this kid has gotten kidnapped one too many times already.
Okay. So you can do that easily enough. It's not hard to get on the roof. And you now find yourself overlooking this vast city. It's a tiered city with many layers to it, built into a mountainside. The buildings seem stacked on top of one another at times, or built into walls that divide the different districts. You see lamplights that line the streets, guards carrying lanterns and swords, their armors gleaming under the silver moon. And Anu, you're definitely awake for this. Masquerade, you're awake for this too. I need Nim and Wisp to give me, we'll say, perception checks. If you want, you can roll Arcana instead. Oh no.
2.
2.
That's pretty accurate for right now.
12.
12. So, Nim, you actually find yourself just fluttering awake a little bit with the child at your side. You realize that what triggered it was a faint gasp coming from where Anu is now situated. The breeze blusters in from the balcony just a little bit, and a few autumn leaves swirl in onto the hardwood floor. And almost like clockwork, you see this beam of blue light in the distance, a pillar reaching from the ground all the way up into the night sky beyond where you can see. Just clear and bright as day. You hear alarm bells begin sounding, and the guards begin rushing toward whatever has just happened.
Alright, and so, like, the next thing you know, you've got Mask, like, in the window, like, oh good, you guys are already awake. And, like, instead of wearing the normal colorful motley, it's, like, the same outfit, but in shades of gray and black. Like, just black Mask, you know? Like, I was up there perched next to the chimney. This was just what we were doing. And so I'm like, you know, I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did, but do we... What?
Well, I would say it probably has something to do with the missing children.
Probably. Should we head towards it?
Yes.
Okay. And I start trying to wake up Giselle a little bit.
Huh?
Giselle, sweetie, are you ready for an adventure?
I love adventure. I'm ready. I'm ready for adventure.
I'll get Wisp.
All right, so Wisp is in the room on the opposite side of the hallway. Wisp, do you keep your door locked?
No, not usually.
Okay.
Well, I do knock first, but I'm going to assume that you probably sleep through that, and I'm going to open the door anyway, because Mask has no boundaries.
I'm face down in the pillow, and I am not regarding you at all right now.
Like, just, and the next thing you know, you've got, like, this tapping against one of your horns.
I just turn slowly, open my eyes, and go, I'm flattered, but I think it would make things awkward for us going forward. So, like,
No. There's somebody, but it's not you. You need to come look out the window.
I will roll, not ungracefully, but very deliberately clunkily out of bed and look out the window.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
Right?
Oh, Steven, for practical purposes, does what I get count as a long rest or a short rest?
Everyone who rested counts as a long rest.
Thank you.
And honestly, for you, Masquerade, because I imagine your guard duties fairly frequently, as long as you were chilling out at the rooftop, that would technically count as a rest for you too. Like, you can't go too many in a row like that without needing some sleep, but for now, for this purpose, yeah, you've rested.
Awesome.
Okay, well, I'll gather up my stuff, because I ain't leaving any of it sitting behind. And, so, into the chaos, I assume?
Oh, yes.
Okay, then.
And Mask just looks delighted by this prospect.
And I just shout across the hall, it's already chaos over here, Giselle. Right shoe, right foot, left shoe, left foot. That is what we are doing right now. We have to wear the correct shoes for adventures. If we don't do it, our feet will hurt.
But this is the right... Oh, no, it's not.
Here we go. Let's fix them.
And Mask just chuckles.
Do I get to do fire? I want to do fire.
Well, yes, but we have to go on the adventure first. So we got to put our shoes on, and then when we go outside, and when it's in a safe area where no one will die, then we're gonna do some fire.
Yay! Fire!
Now, Giselle, the thing to remember is, while most adventures do call for fire, they don't call for fire the whole time.
That's right.
So,
okay.
I have no doubt you'll get to do your fire, but just wait till it's the right time.
Okay, I'll do that.
Knew you could.
And you guys can make your way into the streets. Some people are waking up from the bells. Some are looking out windows at the glowing pillar beaconing in the middle of the city. Others are trying to shut up their windows, locking their doors. Whatever's going on, it is eliciting quite the response from the town, and few people seem to be asleep right now. As you guys make your way, it seems that the guards that are also rushing in the general direction don't pay you too much mind, despite the fact you're running in the same direction. And eventually you find your way to a walled mansion with spires rising into the sky, and the light itself extends just to the edges of the wall. And you see this luminous smoke giving off from the ground nearby as well. And just as the guards try to get in and they're shaking these iron barred gates that seem to be locked, all of a sudden these crystals start jutting up from the earth themselves. Just... And...
Oh, it's Sirenscape.
You see... Yeah, that's Sirenscape. You see these massive glowing blue and yellow crystals, luminous in nature, jutting up like sort of armaments around the building, keeping those out. You know that if Nim were to touch these, it could prove fatal. If the rest of you touch them, you'll probably get a similar situation as to when you were sent into the wild the first time.
Okay, I was gonna ask if there was like mana in those things.
These are mana. They are pure crystals of mana.
Is my magic detection ring
It is
glowing,
beaming.
buzzing?
It is
Okay.
beaming right now. Like
I'm just looking at it like-
flashlight.
I suspect we found the right place.
I'm just showing everybody.
I bet you somebody in there did something really stupid.
So I want to walk up to the guards.
All right, you see several of the guards right now are currently yelling among themselves. One is trying to give orders, and the other one is shouting, "It won't work, Commander! It won't
Hold
work!
up. We need in there?
We can't touch that! Well,
We can't
You-
touch that.
we can't touch that! That's mana! That's pure raw mana!"
Okay, yes, you can't touch that. How's the lock? I want to get a look at it.
The lock is currently now blocked and blockaded by these mana crystals.
Oh, I see.
So no one can really get in. You hear screams coming from inside at this point.
Hey, Anu, what do you think?
Give me an investigation roll, Anu.
No, I quit tonight. I quit.
Oh no, what happened?
You can have my inspiration if you want.
Yeah, I'll take that. Try again. Why do you hate me tonight?
I think it's because the dice were so nice last time.
They really were. I got 7 both times.
Twice in a row.
Wow. Okay.
You know that's a 1 in 400 chance.
That is pretty impressive, actually. So, Anu, you're looking and you don't see a way to readily get in. And Giselle sort of jumps up and down. "Look! I found a thing! I found a thing!" And she points, and you see there is a space among the mana crystals where they crisscross. It is just wide enough that all of you could squeeze through. Giselle probably could. The guards definitely couldn't, especially not with their armor.
You did indeed find a thing. All right, we'll let you know what's going on. And I'm not gonna like wait for permission. I'm just going.
You're taking a child in there?
Oh, she's got this. Don't worry.
You don't want us leaving her with you. Trust us.
She's probably safer than we are, honestly.
I will like swing her up onto my back and tell her to hold on tight.
Okay. So this commander with this plumed helmet, she sort of looks at Wisp and then looks at Nim and Masquerade perplexedly and then at Anu, and then she's like, "We have no other option. Go. Just go."
I mean, we were
Thank
going to
you.
go
Go.
anyway.
We're very good at being people's lack of other options. We're excellent at that.
All right. So you guys, I need everyone to make an acrobatics check to try to squeeze through here without touching the mana crystals.
13.
13. All right.
24.
24.
20!
20!
15.
15. All of you guys make it easily, and Giselle also makes it without touching any of the mana. And you can now get to the locked gate.
Oh.
Does it require a key, or is there just simple locking?
We have a
mechanism
new, of
from our
course it
side?
doesn't require a key.
That's a good point as well.
If he makes me roll, maybe not.
You do need to roll sleight of hand.
All right, give me a second. Let me see. Sleight of hand. All right. The hell did my other dice go? Oh, left it in the car.
The
Wait, this
chatter's
one.
saying your dice aren't nice.
They aren't. So I was going to switch it out. But my entire box of dice is in the car. Because I've been going to game shops and I just leave it in my car.
That's fair. That's valid.
Oh, God.
Sounds like you
wiggling my
need more
fingers at
dice.
D&D Beyond to behave itself.
No. Jeez.
I was gonna say, needing more dice is definitely not a gamer's worst nightmare.
Oh, my God.
What'd you get?
A 10.
You needed a 10. It wasn't actually that difficult. So you managed to click the lock open. It gives you more difficulty than you expected it would, but then again, there are mana crystals jutted up all around it, so fair. And the doors swing open, the gates creak a little bit with their iron hinges, and you can now make your way across the immaculately kept courtyard. As you guys are rushing down this cobblestone path toward the manor, which eerily has no lights on despite all the screaming.
Okay.
The topiaries cast strange and often ominous shadows along the pathway. You pass a fountain which has now been dug up with mana crystals jutting out of it. And the statue is broken with the head and one of the arms missing. And the statue itself is actually at an angle now. And you make your way up to the front door, which coincidentally is also locked. There is a trellis as well that leads up to a balcony. So you can choose to climb the trellis or try to go through the door.
Just looking at Anu for a call here.
I kind of want to do the timing, but I feel like it'll be difficult. But I don't know if I want to risk that.
If only we had an orator that could make this easier for you.
I think we might be able to.
Are you going to encourage her?
There will be some encouragement.
All right. So, Anu, you get to add Nim's charisma modifier to your roll.
Okay. Am I doing acrobatics, athletics?
Athletics if you're climbing, sleight of hand if you're picking the lock to the front door.
Wait. It'd be more fun climbing, because then they won't know we're coming, right?
That is a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That may be true. My one concern is if you go up that way and get in trouble, we don't have an easy way of getting through the door.
And I can't do both.
Do you feel like picking the lock before you climb up there?
Am I able to do that?
Yeah, you can do both.
Yeah, let's do both.
All
Can
right.
I encourage for both?
You can encourage for both.
Okay. You've got double encouragement here. I'm basically like with pom-poms behind you.
All right, let's pick the lock first. 19.
All right, that's easy. So you open the lock without hardly any effort. This one feels way more natural. Probably helps the mana crystals aren't jutting up around it.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you on the other side. I don't. Well, let's
All right.
go.
And what does Nim do to encourage Anu as she starts to climb?
A in, you do, let's go. And it's just a bunch of that over and over and over.
Okay, make your athletics check, and you can add +3, which is Nim's charisma modifier.
Whoops, I hit acrobatics. Whoops, wrong one. All right, it's fine. Ugh. You said, what is hers?
+3.
That doesn't do anything. Damn, I wish I would have kept my acrobatics check. But... No, I got 9.
A 9. Okay, so you're having some trouble, but you can make it up. It's just going to take you longer.
Yeah.
So as you're making your way up, the rest of you open this huge set of double doors, and the doors just slide open. And you realize these doors are scraping on stone. and they are very ornate. They open into this area that looks like almost like a mansion's open way, but it has a lot of iconography of the Keeper, who is the human deity of knowledge and magic and secrets. And you see this statue in the middle of the foyer just before these twin stairways that branch off and go opposite directions onto a surrounding balcony above. The image of the Keeper itself is an old man wearing robes, and he has this massive tome that he's holding, and it's connected to this collar around his neck by a chain. He's hunched over, and despite his withered form, he's able to carry this massive tome, and it's honestly a little bit impressive that this stone statue stands the way it does without the tome itself crumbling the statue.
I'm just going to take note of the collar and sort of say to myself, sorry, dude, your kink is not my kink.
You see a placard on the base of the statue that says, "Knowledge is a burden that must be borne."
Books, man.
Anew, you make your way onto this balcony, and you open the door, and you find it smells terrible in here.
Oh, great.
It looks like you're in a private study. And at a desk, sitting in a chair, is this slumped body. And the head is ripped completely off and is across the room with a shocked expression.
That's unpleasant.
You see that blood stains these purple and blue robes. And the doorway beyond looks fairly standard to approach. There are bookshelves surrounding it, and the walls are really lined with bookshelves here. It's quite impressive.
I have to keep note of this. Probably something useful here. Can I make an investigation check before I leave?
You can absolutely make an investigation check. 10. You see about 12 gold pieces just chilling out on the desk there.
Those are mine. Now he won't need those.
That smile.
And you also hear what sounds like armor rustling or shuffling outside the doorway. You guys also hear this armor shuffling echoing, followed by a clunk, clunk, like this hollow walking noise.
I'm just going to go ahead and draw my rapier in advance because I already don't like it here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to hold Giselle really close.
All right. Those of you in the main foyer can see coming out of a hallway and now walking down this around the balcony. You see an armored figure, it looks like. But they're wearing like a full suit of plate, but where the eyes would go, instead there is this glowing light. It is a yellow light, and the armored figure is carrying this huge polearm. It looks pretty nasty, actually. And after a moment of investigation, you realize this armor looks very similar to the suits of armor that decorate the hallways up above.
And just out of curiosity, are those decorative suits of armor, are they armed?
They are armed with similar looking weapons.
Great. Just great.
Should have stayed in bed.
I was tempted.
This bright, vibrant blue light from outside doesn't seem to filter in here, but you do notice that everything seems to be giving off this vague, luminous blue smoke. Almost like it's vaguely on fire, but not quite. And those of you who are inclined toward magic can smell the metallic scent of magic in the air. This place is just rife with it. It's permeated by it. And occasionally you'll see images that sort of have like a double tone to them, almost like if you're looking through 3D glasses without it being properly 3D. And then it will just flicker back into its normal state.
Is my ring still going crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least, we have light. If it gets dark, and there's a dark hall, or, I just looking on the bright side here. Well, as the least experienced with magic, I'm interested to know, do we have a plan?
Well, does it seem to have noticed us?
It does not seem to have noticed you yet. And
Is there...
No, you go ahead.
Is there anywhere out of this main area other than going up the stairs? Or does that really seem to be the only option?
It seems there are branching hallways going on the same level. Anyone who wants to can give me a perception check that includes Anu. As Anu, you are welcome to stay in the room you're in, or you can come back out at your choice. Oh, you are there. Okay. So yeah, anyone who wants to can make a perception check, but don't have to if you don't want to.
I would like to make one.
Is a 12.
All right.
Natural 1.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Are you making a perception roll anew?
Sure. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay.
You said perception, right?
Yes.
All right. You're going to be nice to me right now? Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Hey, very nice. So, as you guys are investigating this this area, you hear faint muttering, and it just seems to keep saying the same words over and over again. Where am I? Where is this? Why can't I feel anything? Nim, you are just fascinated by the intricate designs on this rug that is decorating the foyer. It is fascinating, and it might be magical.
And I'm just putting my ring close to it.
Wisp, you hear the muttering, but you can't hear what it's saying.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
It seems like it's coming from the suit of armor.
Sounds like something's trapped in there.
I'm going to approach the stairs. I'm just going to put one hoof on the bottom step. And I'm gauging any possible reaction from this thing.
Okay. The head turns to face you. You? Who are you?
Just visiting, actually. You seem like you might be lost.
I am. And Wisp, it smells real bad coming from a couple of these hallways. And you can see figures wearing what you would readily recognize as paladin's armor, torn limb from limb in the hallways, blood splattered on the walls.
So, what's the last thing you do remember?
Mist. Quiet. I don't know. It was very similar to how the mages describe the wild.
Okay. And Where were you when that happened?
Dead.
I kind of suspected, but I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to be the first one to say it.
Who are you?
My name's Wisp. We're just trying to get just a bearing on what in the hells is going on.
Who am I?
I don't have an answer to that immediately, unfortunately.
Who did all of this?
Now, that one I also don't have an answer to, but that is definitely sort of the pressing one that we're hoping to get a handle on, because everything about everything just reads as bad right now. And the fact that like you seem like you were brought here without choosing to do so. That we're adding that to the pile of things that like that's not right.
No, it's not. Is this yours? And he holds out a book.
Can I see if there's anything written on it?
The book has a lock on it. It has an ornate design of what looks like it's meant to resemble a heart.
No. However, I feel like that might be able to help us sort out what's going on. Do you mind if I were to take that?
No. You're the first person I've found.
How long have you been wandering?
An hour? Feels like longer probably, but judging by the moon outside. Why is there blue light outside?
Well, it's the reason that we're the only ones in here right now. There's a whole thing like stopping other people from coming in. I'm just gonna take that from you, if that's okay.
What happened? Is she okay?
Who?
Annabella.
I don't know. But I'd be happy to help you find out.
Thank you. And he kind of looks down. Who are they?
Well, they're with me. They're very nice. But we are just trying to, as I said, sort everything out. And I thought it would be best for us to talk and just get a sense of things before we got to introductions. Do you remember your name?
And he pauses for a minute, and it's now that you begin to notice there's a ticking that begins getting louder, along with a little bit of whirring. And the eyes, the yellow light brightens quite a bit, and this masculine voice that sounds vaguely like what you would recognize as if you talk into a fan, and it's broken up that way. He says, Jasper.
Well, it is very nice to meet you. I am going to try and take the book at this point.
Okay. He'll hand you the book.
Cool.
And when he does, because you're so close to him, you can see that just where the armor separates, there are gears and cogs whirring to make this suit of armor work.
Huh. All right. I'm going to take it. I'm going to turn back to the rest. Everybody, this is Jasper. He's dead, but obviously there are some concerns going on. And I think we might be in a position to try and everybody help each other and and just maybe help you find out where Annabella is.
Yes. Yes. I don't know who that is, but I know that name, and I know that she's not okay.
Okay. Do you think you would recognize her if you saw her?
I don't know. I
Fair
remember
enough.
Mist and darkness and a snake.
Snake. Okay.
A big snake. And then
That's
vines.
new.
Vines. Thorny black vines. They wrapped around me and tore me, and when I woke up, I was here.
So you said you've been wandering for about an hour. How much have you seen of this place? I mean, if nothing else, you might be able to save us a bit of time and keep us from splitting up, which would be a very stupid thing. Let's not do that.
It's enough to know that everyone here that I've encountered, except for you, are dead.
Was there anywhere you tried to go that you couldn't? A door that was locked, or you just couldn't? Something held you away from it. Anything like that?
Yes, actually. The door that led to the cellars, where the secret archives are kept.
It's always the cellars, and it's always archives in the cellars. Why can't everybody just put archives somewhere where there's a nice skylight? Fine, cool. Where are those?
I can take you there.
That would be amazing.
Are the rest of you going as well?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, he leads you almost callously, and the rest of you can pretty quickly pick up on the fact that there are machines inside that's making this suit of armor move. And, he leads you almost callously through these blood-splattered hallways. You see people in purple and blue robes, people in armors, all of them torn limb from limb. And as you start heading further downstairs and toward the cellar doors, you begin to see these black thorny vines just growing up from under the wallpapers and out of the walls and out of the carpets, and just sort of clinging very ominously onto the walls, wrapping around the tables. And Anu can give me a history check. Five. So the vines feel familiar somehow, but you can't quite place it. But they definitely seem familiar. Eventually, you guys arrive at these double doors that are barred, and there is a heavy lock on them.
Anu, I believe this is your department.
I believe it is.
I'm going to just preemptively give a little bit of bardic inspiration
Okay.
to Anu.
Okay.
Who's just having a terrible night?
Yeah, your dice are struggling.
So for any roll in the next 10 in-game minutes, you can roll a 1d8 to add to whatever you roll initially. And it's just going to be just sort of a little twirl and a wink of like, I know you got this.
You said add a 1d8?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Probably not necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. $19.
19. You guys don't have to go find the key now, as Anu picks the lock successfully.
Nicely done.
You needed a 16.
Oh, good. Okay, so then, yeah, rolling the 1d8 was helpful.
Yay!
So, you unlock this massive padlock, and the sound reverberates down this stone hallway.
I will send some dancing lights on ahead.
Pretty! And Giselle wants to chase after them.
Someone grab the child.
I hold her really tight, but you can see her little feet just kicking.
Make an initiative roll against me.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, that's the bad dice. Let's use this one.
She got a 14. What'd you get?
I can't use inspiration on that, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, let's do that. 11.
11. She beats you. Giselle runs down after the dancing lights.
Have a speed of 40 feet.
Okay.
I seriously doubt the 6-year-old is going to outrun me.
No,
I am
she is not.
right on top of her.
Okay, you are right on top of her. And as she rounds this corner, that's a pretty short corner, actually, you come into this open area and you see another barred door with bookshelves beyond. And this room is lit by torches that have this flickering yellow fire.
At which point I am going to scoop her up and be like, I see you found something else.
Look! Fire! That's a new color.
Yes, it seems rather unhealthy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't like it. And I
Nor
always
do
like
I.
fire.
And the fact that you don't like this says quite a bit, I think.
It gives me a bad feeling.
Can I mention...
I'm assuming there's a lock on the barred gate again.
There is a lock, but this one is actually hanging open. And anyone who wants to can make an investigation or perception roll.
See, the fact that it's hanging open actually feels like that's worse.
I do want to announce that...
6.
Speaking, before we go enter, I want to point out that I did have a vision of a snake, so...
Oh.
If we do run into one, it's a big piece of shit. It is.
All right.
Fair enough.
That is good to know.
Duly noted. I also rolled a 6.
I got a 19.
Okay.
You said investigation or what else?
Or perception.
Perception. I'm gonna do perception.
I can perceive. I just can't catch a child, apparently.
Is Jasper gonna roll?
Jasper can roll. He got a natural 2. Where's my camera? There's my
20.
camera.
Ooh, a new...
All right. So there are several desks outside of the barred area. And it looks like these are meant for people to bring the books from inside the bars out here to study. You see Anu. It appears as though one of the books is open to something that looks very ominous, and you see a familiar looking frame around it. Like the frame itself is designed almost in those decorative Celtic ways to look like maybe a snake, maybe a centipede with a big flower mouth. And there are a variety of sigils and runes and instructions for pulling ghosts, like specific ghosts, from the wild and binding them to objects. And if you want, you can make an Arcana roll to determine more information from this. Nim, you, with your roll, notice a key sitting on one of the desks, and this key is smaller than a normal key. It looks like it could, in theory, fit into the book.
I want to tap Mask's shoulder, and then I just keep doing that until I have Mask's attention,
Yes.
and then I point at the key,
Oh, I see.
and then I like point my ring at it and try to see if it's magical in some capacity. But my brain is probably going crazy in this place already.
The ring is going crazy, and it's going no more crazy when you even put the key right on top of it.
Okay.
Just gonna pick it up.
I got an 11 for my Arcana check.
Okay, so you can't necessarily divulge much more beyond the fact that whatever this ritual is, it kind of breaks the laws of magic, and it requires either something called a Philosopher's Stone or a massive blood sacrifice.
Oh,
That would explain a lot.
Can I touch the book, or is it like booby trapped?
Yeah, you can touch the book.
Okay, so I pick it up and I go, you see this thing here? Here, this thing. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're on the lookout for. Also, I imagine all the blood we found has something to do with this, and Jasper.
Okay, though. Jasper, do you remember what you did before you died? Like what your job was?
He struggles to remember, gears whirring, the lights brightening in the eyes once again. And I'm going to let one of you make his history roll. You can
Not
add
me.
2.
Yeah, I was going to say not Sanita.
that's gonna be a 22, sir.
22.
Nice.
His eyes get very bright for a moment. He looks. I was a paladin. I guarded this place. I guarded the wizards here. I guarded the sorcerers training to be wizards. I kept them safe from themselves. And
that.
with his very good roll that Robin got for him, he adds,
DPon loves me tonight.
Annabella was one of them.
Someone a particular note to you?
I think so. I can't. I don't know. It's all so fuzzy. I can't feel anything. All the visions are fuzzy, like all around. The hearing is muffled. But I'm here.
You are here. And we can keep looking.
All right.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, if nobody's picked the key up yet, I want to do that.
I wanted to say something, but it hasn't been brought to my attention yet, so...
Okay, so Masquerade, you've got a key.
All right. So I will hold this up and bring it to Wisp's attention.
Ooh. Can I try that?
All right.
I pass it over.
I will see if it fits the book.
Like a glove.
Love it. Let's unlock it.
Okay. And you uncover a diary.
I suspected.
Uh-huh. And it paints the image of a very miserable young woman who signs her name as Annabella. And she's pressured to do well. She's very gifted. The wizards think that she'll make a great addition to their hierarchy, but she doesn't like following the rules. She doesn't like the rules she begins uncovering. And she, as you continue, the things get more and more depressed.
I know what we're doing now.
Until she meets a new paladin at the scriptorium. And she falls in love with him.
Oh, Stephen, how dare you?
And then they get in trouble. And then you see one last entry much later after they've gotten in trouble, and it talks about him being sick.
Are any of these dated?
And yes, they're dated, and they are...
So, how long ago?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
And the paladin's name is Jasper. And she mourns his loss, that he's sick, the good die young, that sort of theme. And then you see the final entry is halfway scribbled out, but you can make through the scribbles a vow that she's going to find a way to see him again.
And apparently she did.
Goddamn sinners!
Love's a bitch. Okay.
Isn't it just?
I just look around so are we saying that Annabelle is here right now, and that's why Mr. Jasper, our new friend, is present, and we're just gonna stay here, and we're not leaving immediately? This just seems like a problem.
We should probably find her.
Should we? We.
Well, if she's the cause of everything going on, then yeah, we kind of should.
I suppose you're right. I was just looking forward to, an evening off, sleeping a full night, no magic, no evil, no fighting, but okay, let's go, I suppose. Okay.
After this.
I'm gonna put a hand on Nim's shoulders and go like, I get it. I do. But gear up. We got shit to do. All right, so I think I'm going to start very gingerly. And like stopping and looking down every aisle of books, like work my way into this what had been the locked off section of books.
Okay. As you look down the sections, you see a couple more dead bodies, and in these, those black vines, which are growing steadily more prominent and more, there's many more of them. You see that these vines are digging into the bodies, and it looks like they're almost drinking from them.
Ew.
Very similarly to vines you've encountered previously. And as you continue going, you actually see one of the bodies is lying there, and you see it start to get up, and a vaporous form stands up from it that looks identical to the body, except it's intact and has a face and everything. And it's a woman, and she looks at you. Help. It's coming. It's coming for me. And as she reaches towards you, you see the vines themselves actually lunge out almost like frog tongues, wrap around the ghost, and somehow grab hold of the ethereal nature of it and yank it back into the body. And you hear this blood-curdling scream as it does.
Why do people always think, oh, it'll be fine when I mess with the dark forces? It's gone wrong for literally everyone who's ever done it, but it'll be fine for me.
Maybe she didn't think that it would be fine, but thought that she'd be willing to pay the cost.
Oh, that's not better.
It's a little better. I mean, not for any of these people, but
I can deal with idiots better than I can deal with callous.
I think I'm quite the opposite. And, just continue walking.
And no dick is worth this.
I put my hands over Giselle's ears.
Well, I do agree there is a child present.
I'll toss this over my shoulder. You and I should swap stories later.
Annabelle, or not Annabelle, excuse me, Giselle.
I was going to say.
Giselle, actually, when you cover her ears, you feel her kind of sobbing a little bit.
I'm going to pick her up.
What's going on, kiddo?
This is scary.
It is. It is very scary. I'm scared too. It's okay to be scared. That just means that you're very smart, because if you weren't scared in here, that wouldn't be good. You see all the things that are going on, so it's good to be scared in here.
Mask is just quietly feeling added.
And Giselle points at the doorway up ahead at the end of the rows of bookshelves. There's something bad back there.
Yeah? Do you feel something? Did you see something?
I don't know. I just know.
All right.
I'm holding her, and I just try to point my ring towards it, but I see nothing because it's all still glowing.
Yeah. No,
So-
she's crying even more now.
Nim, why don't you hang back with her?
Absolutely, no problem. I'm on it.
Giselle?
Mm-hmm.
Remember how I told you that there is going to be a time for fire, but you have to wait for the right time?
Mm-hmm.
That might be coming soon. Now, don't rush it, but just be ready. Can you do that?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You don't have to go any closer to that door. All right?
Okay.
You stay right here, and Nim's here with you, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Here with you.
Little boop on the nose.
We are
She
really
kinda-
going to have to find somewhere safe for her.
She gives like a half smile when you do that, even though she's still got the tears coming a little bit. And you see that this door actually has, when you approach it, you notice the air has a sheen about it, almost like an oil slick. And when you walk just a little bit closer, you can touch it and it feels solid. Just
Like
boom.
the air itself feels solid?
The air itself feels solid and hard, and it's a little bit distorted. And when you reach out and touch it, you see these rainbow waves like an oil slick just coming off of it with hues of yellow thrown in.
It's a barrier.
Oh, the effect's pretty, but this is annoying.
And when you touch it, you see that there are letters that appear over top of it.
Can we read what they say?
It's the alphabet, just laid out.
Can we trace the letters?
You can trace the letters. When you trace them, they stick for a moment.
Gonna try Jasper first.
Okay. You try Jasper, and it flickers but remains intact.
Okay, so it's not that one.
I want to holler at them. Try password.
Does so.
Doesn't work at all. No response.
Oh.
Can I flip through the diary again one more time to see if there is if anything jumps out to me as like a recurrent phrase or word?
Absolutely. Make an investigation roll.
That is going to translate to a 19.
19. With the exception of Annabelle's and Jasper's names, The phrase you see most frequently is one that he apparently used to refer to her, or perhaps maybe she referred to him. It's a little confusing. But it is my angel.
Let's try that.
Okay. You try that, and the barrier washes away like liquid light.
Doing this to my feelings.
And you can now pass through freely.
Oh, I hate big doors like this. It's never fun stuff behind them.
I go.
All right, you go. And you walk through the door, and it is eerily dark in here. And then with just one more step, you're not really sure which step it is, but just one more step, all of a sudden you begin to realize there's this luminous mist everywhere. It's eerie white with tinges of yellow, strands of what look like yellow thread, or maybe when a spider web's floating on the air, flicker in your periphery. You hear a gentle rumbling, and you see a single figure wearing blue and purple robes with mousy brown hair, all disheveled and pulled into a messy bun, with
Annabelle.
her back turned to you. She turns. What? And you see that she has this, like, black tears coming from these vivid yellow eyes that she has.
I see you've been acting out of grief.
He doesn't love me.
Well, it's hard for the dead to feel much of anything.
He doesn't remember me.
No, he does.
All the time we shared.
That's not about you. You brought him back when he's not supposed to be here. What he does or doesn't remember has nothing to do with you. And for the record, he did remember. He remembered your name. He didn't remember everything that went with it, but your name stuck with him when almost nothing else did.
We were supposed to be together. We were supposed to be this storybook tale of true love. And he wouldn't leave with me. You wouldn't leave with me! She shouts at the robot. I still won't. But at least these bureaucrats in here got what was coming to them. They kept us from being together with their rules and their politics and everything.
Blame her for that.
Annabelle, I'm very sorry that you didn't get the outcome that you deserved. You deserve to be happy. You do. But sometimes it doesn't work. And knowing that, you need to stop what you're doing.
There's no going back. There's no stopping from here. Do you see what I've done?
Yes, and you are making excuses. That is the thinking of someone who doesn't want to bother trying. And look at everything that you've done. Look at everything you did just to bring him back and have another chance. You are not someone who doesn't try.
No. I'm not.
Then you can't stand there and tell me that it's too late to stop.
But it is. So once you set certain things in motion, they don't stop.
Not on their own.
Give me a persuasion roll. Wisp, and you can have advantage because of Master.
Oh, good. I was going to say I'm going to need advantage after that one. Okay, let's try that again. 19.
19.
Just the energy that is being the pretty girl blowing on your own dice.
Oh. Maybe you're right. But how do you fix this?
One step at a time, the same way you do anything else.
I don't think you understand. There's someone else here.
Go on.
He called to me in my dreams, and I went beyond the Veil of Illusions, which I know you're not supposed to do in your dreams as a mage, but I did. And he offered me this and more.
Where is he?
There. And she points behind you.
Fuck!
And you see this very familiar face, Anu. This petaled, toothy maw. This is a Crom spawn.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
And you see, Nim, from where you have Giselle outside the room, that this armored giant centipede body blocks the door.
I turn Giselle's head into my shoulder so she can't see anything, and I find what appears to be a safe corner where we are inconspicuously hidden as much as we can be. Okay. Maybe under a desk or something.
All right. Make a perception roll.
Which one of you will not betray me?
That's a complete goblet energy right there. I love it.
Also so relatable.
11.
All right. So, you tuck under a desk with Giselle being just behind you. And you feel a prick on your arm. And it's then that you notice that these vines start reaching up past you for Giselle. And you're realizing you two are going to have to fight the vines in this room, while they're going to be fighting the Crom spawn.
No. All right, so I grab Giselle, and I just try to find a spot where we are not being touched by any vines, and I'm going to give her a pep talk.
All right, Giselle, remember that you wanted to use that fire. I think it's getting pretty close. Are you ready? How do you feel?
I can do it. I can do it. And you see this blue fire burst from her eyes.
All right. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to go after every vine that you see, but just the vines, okay?
What about the books?
Let's leave the books just in case. They might have really good stories in them, and we would be very sad if we never got to read them. But, let's focus on the vines first, okay?
Okay. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
All right. 18.
Fuck. Just Christ. 7.
Okay.
4.
5.
Oh no.
Weird. Awful.
Shit.
And then, yep. Oh, yes. These are weirdly fast vines, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, God.
Oh, I need to roll for Giselle, too. Oh, my. Giselle is not fast.
He was my only hope. It's been fun, gang.
So, our Crom spawn battle is Masquerade, followed by the Crom spawn, then Anu and Wisp. The Vine fight, which will be the round following that, is Vines, then Nim, then Giselle. So, Masquerade, you're up first. You see this giant petal-faced centipede rising before you, and you hear this voice rumbling. The sinner has invited me in.
Alright, so my plan here is less to do a mass amount of damage and more to hit where I think it's gonna hurt the worst so that this thing will focus fire me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna flurry of blows.
Okay. So, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay, so first one's 10.
That will not
Second
hit.
one is 22.
That will hit.
Sorry, like the D&D Beyond kind of likes to block me, so I can't see what I'm doing. And the third one is 15.
That will just make it.
Cool. So that's going to be 10 damage total.
10 damage total. All right. So, well, describe how you go up and attack this thing.
So I'm gonna just roll forward and start with these open-handed strikes. And the first one, I'm aiming for one of the little gaps in the segmented body, but I'm a little too zealous about it, so it just sort of breezes past. The other two strike more solidly, and I'm just sort of jamming the edges of my hands into the gaps there.
Okay. Question. Do your blows count as magical?
I actually don't know if they do yet or not. Let me, see. No, I don't believe it does.
Okay, so they do half damage.
Okay.
And it is the Cromspawn's turn. It unleashes this virulent, roaring screech. This is... And you see more of these black thorny vines just pierce out of its mouth and begin trying to ensnare the lot of you. Everyone needs to make a dexterity saving throw. And you realize now that the thorns on these look very much like the teeth on the petal mouth.
I would like to go ahead and take the hit so that I can cast shield and get my arcane ward up.
Okay. That is absolutely doable. I will allow that to happen.
I got 19 on my dex save.
19 and a 14. 19 makes it, 14 does not. So, Wisp, you are dancing and twirling and just nimbly avoiding as these vines try to ensnare you. But Anu gets wrapped in these vines and is going to take 19 piercing damage. And you are now restrained.
Crap.
And it's Anu's turn. Anu, what are you doing?
Where is it restraining me?
It's restraining you from its mouth. So basically you're just wrapped up.
How does it look on my body? Is it just wrapping my arms?
So it's
It
wrapped
looks
around.
fabulous on your body.
It's wrapped around your legs. It's wrapping your upper torso, but you can still kind of move your arms at the elbows to try to strike at it if you want.
Okay. I'm going to... I forgot a spell, do I? What's this? Absorb elements. Charm person, disguise self, sleep. Wait, what does absorb element do again?
Just so you know, your attack rolls, dexterity throws, have disadvantage, and attacks against you have advantage because you're restrained.
I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Eesh. Where is my magic? I want to know. Oh, there it is. Okay. Spells. Oh, it captures incoming energy. Storing it? Nah. Alright, I'm going to do Firebolt then, too.
Okay.
6.
6. Okay. So, you see that this creature seems especially susceptible to fire as it completely recoils, and these vines actually release you as the fire hits it.
Okay.
And it does full damage as well. In fact, you think it might have even done double damage.
Do you want me to roll for damage?
Oh, I thought you said it was 6 to hit, 6 damage.
No. That was to hit.
Oh, 6 to hit does not hit. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
Ignore everything.
Yes. So, is that your round then?
Yeah, I guess I can't do anything else.
All right. So you can, because you are a rogue, I would let you try to escape a grapple as a cunning action. Or escape being restrained as a cunning action, I suppose, is what it would be.
Sneaking attack.
Because you're a rogue, you're slippery, you're used to escaping from things, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What am I rolling? Dex again?
Yes, you're rolling dexterity if you want to roll dexterity.
Fucking finally! 23.
All right, so you slip free of the vines and are no longer restrained. But now the vines are still whipping around you. And we go to Wisp.
So, you said this thing was armor plated. Does the armor cover its head?
No. The petal head is exposed.
Sacred flame its freaking head.
All right. Saving throw. That's a 3 on the die. There's no way that makes it.
So that's 2d8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 10 radiant damage.
10 radiant damage. It also seems to be vulnerable to radiant damage. As it just unleashes this unholy screech. And you hear almost like this superimposed sound like crackling wood as it unleashes it. And Wisp, because you did so well and you used radiant damage, go ahead and give me a perception roll at advantage.
Oh god, thank god I had advantage. I just rolled a 1. So that 11.
11. All right. So, you see that this creature in the radiant light, and it's no longer hidden by this darkness as much, and the luminous mist isn't obscuring it, that it looks like there are faces pressing out in the skin against this thing. And you see that the vines actually, while blackened, look like they're made of muscle sinew, with the thorns being teeth. And it looks like this thing is made up of dead bodies as well.
Oh, God. All right.
Do not like.
And
before
It's like the eldritch knowledge.
before my turn is over, as a bonus action, I want a healing word anew.
okay.
So that is 5 points of healing.
All right. Now it's the vines' turn outside. Nim, the vines are coming for you. And because it's better lit out here, you can see what Wisp just observed.
And I do not like it at all.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
15?
15 makes it. You managed to avoid the vines wrapping you up and dealing damage to you, and you managed to also keep Giselle from also getting harmed by these. That is its round. Your turn. What are you doing?
I'm going to use my dagger, and I'm just going to slash at it as much as I can.
Okay.
I'm pretty close to it, right?
Is that your silver dagger?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Nim doesn't know much about magic, but she's learned a thing or two on the road. Okay. Shit. 5.
So you got 5? Yeah, that doesn't hit.
I
Go
imagine
ahead
just, like,
and
slash
roll.
it.
Roll for Giselle.
Okay.
For her firebolt.
I mean, would I add anything to
Add
it?
5.
Oh, 14.
14 hits.
Nice.
So you see Giselle throws this blue fire and it streaks and explodes on the vines that were attacking you, and they are not a danger to you next round.
Ooh. Good job, Giselle. That was very good. I'm glad you've been saving your fire. See, when we use it for good things, it's so good.
Masquerade, your turn.
Okay, I swear I was gonna do this anyway because I'm saving my actual spell slots for shielding. But I am going to firebolt.
Okay. I mean,
13.
you've seen that it seems to be effective with the radiant fire, so 13 will not hit.
Damn. Okay.
Crumspawn's turn, and it is going to lunge to try to swallow Masquerade.
Well, you got its attention.
Does a 14 hit your armor
It
class?
does not.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I haven't updated the character sheets also because I just changed the character sheet. So, hey, it misses. So the thing plunges its mouth toward the floor. You flip out of the way, and just this thunderous rumble shakes some of the stones and dust from the ceiling as the mouth crashes into the stone floor, cracking it. And we are going to Anu.
You're up, Anu.
Alright. Oh, damn it. Alright, I'm gonna do Firebolt again.
Okay. And now you aren't at disadvantage because you aren't restrained.
Alright. Are there vines still around me?
There are, but they seem to be retracted a little bit since the radiant fire happened.
Oh, alright, then I'm gonna fuck his face up then.
All right.
Damn! 21.
21. That absolutely hits. Roll that damage.
What is that shit? Alright.
2d10.
Oh, that was a 10. Oh no, because it looked like I got a 0, and I'm like, what?
Ah.
Oh, 17 damage.
17 damage. Okay. This thing is now bloodied. And it is Wisp's turn.
Sacred flame in the face.
All right, dexterity saving throw. That's a 19 on the die. I'm pretty sure that makes it.
Damn it, it does.
All right. So as your sacred flame comes down once again toward where it's vulnerable right now on the floor, it senses it coming and retracts with this unnatural grace. And yeah, so Wisp, you got a bonus action?
You know what? Just for safety's sake, I'm gonna give Anu another dose of healing word.
Okay.
So that'll be another 4 points of healing.
All right, Anu, did you catch that? We'll wait till she comes back.
Okay.
It's the Vine's turn. They are going to try to go for Giselle, even though they can't get Nim right now. No, they got a 5 on the die, which is not great. There's no way they're hitting that tiny, squirmy child. Nim, you're up.
All right,
So-
I'm gonna try again with my dagger.
Okay.
5.
Nope. And
Not doing
roll
good.
for Giselle.
Can I encourage Giselle?
You can absolutely encourage Giselle. Anu, you've got 4 points of healing back.
Did you catch that, Sanita?
Yep. I just got it.
Oh, okay. Giselle got a 19, but with encouragement is 22 plus the 5 that you. So she's.
It's a 19 on the die.
Mm-hmm.
Giselle crits on a 19 for fire spells.
Ooh.
Oh!
So that means she automatically deals a base of 20 damage. Roll 2d10.
My D10s. Where's the other one? Okay. 11.
11. Okay, so Giselle's hair erupts in blue fire, and her eyes begin shimmering with this blue flame as well, and these blue flames begin licking off of her as she grabs one of the vines, and you watch as it just incinerates into ash, and like a chain reaction follows to all of the vines in the area.
Nice.
And you no longer have to worry about vines, and your combat is functionally over. And you can help the others if you want.
We're probably going to do that, so we're going to head towards that doorway.
So with that being said, Masquerade, you're up.
Right.
Side of the miserable dice.
Let's see, let us firebolt again.
Okay.
Wow, that's 12. That's not gonna hit.
Nope.
Like, I'm just imagining that when Mask does this, it's like stylized to look like a fire blower, so like just like holding the hand up, you know, and like it just isn't hitting.
Okay. Yeah, it is just, and the thing is very like dodgy and sinewy, and it moves almost like water as it dodges your different blows. And it is its turn. It's going for Wisp. There's no way it's not going for Wisp. So Wisp, does a 20, dirty 20 hit your armor class?
Damn it, yes it does.
Okay. So it spews this acrid sludge at you as you take 7 acid damage, and the ground beneath you is sizzling. You also see that your glamored armor seems to be damaged.
Motherfucker. Okay.
And so is any other magical items on your person. They are now damaged and will need to be repaired.
Now I'm pissed.
And that is its round. The ground beneath you is still burning with acid, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
Anu, it's your turn.
All right, this asshole. All right. I'm gonna firebolt it again.
All right.
All right, that's 16. All right, that's 16. 16.
16 will hit. Roll that damage.
Yeah. Okay, again, 17 to hit. 17 damage.
And it is doubled because it's vulnerable. So, Anu, describe its gruesome demise for me.
Oh, I'm gonna make it seem like I'm powering up for this.
Okay.
Oh, and I'm gonna be super cheesy and I'm like, how's this for fucking sinning? And throw it at me.
Okay. And when you do, the creature unleashes this unholy, burbling, gurgling roar as its entire body begins incinerating and turning to ash. And you start seeing like pieces of faces and limbs dropping out of this thing with the black Icarus blood. And just flopping on the floor as the creature almost deflates as it turns to ash. And pretty soon you just have a pile of bones and half incinerated flesh and syrupy gook on the floor.
I'm definitely stepping off of the bit of floor that got hit with the acid. I ain't standing there, let's be clear about that.
You do take another 5 acid damage as you begin your turn there. But then you can get out of it.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that.
And you guys see that now only Annabelle is left just staring at all of you. And for the briefest moment, you see what looks like this crazy twinkle in her eye. And then she looks at the robot, and the twinkle sort of turns into this glassy, misty stare. And you see tears start flowing from her eyes. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for all this.
We know you didn't. But he's gone. So you need to stop.
And the tears keep flowing, and she just nods. I know. And she walks up to the robot, and she puts her hand on the cheek of the helmet. And when she lifts it, you see there is a single turning gear at the back of the neck that turns everything else, and it has this arcane sigil glowing yellow on it. And she sort of takes a bit of her tears and uses it to just smear the sigil at the back, and when she does, the whirring naturally smears it even more. And it stops glowing, and the entire suit of robotic armor collapses. I'm so sorry.
I just realized this didn't have anything to do with the missing kids.
Nothing to do with it. Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Yes. You know, we were supposed to get children. We normally have children here, but every time we've been having children lately, they've vanished. What's more, the Queen apparently requested for all of the children here to be taken to the royal palace for some great project we don't know, but it was meant to be kept secret. So there were no children here when all of this transpired, at least.
I think, considering the circumstances, that's probably for the better.
Yeah, good. I'm going to offer Giselle her diary back.
You mean Annabella?
I'm sorry, yes. Annabella.
I did it too, so I feel that.
You did. You did it the other way. I'm going to
started
offer Annabella her diary back.
She'll take it.
I think this is due to have a better ending than it currently does.
They'll put me to death. Or worse, they'll abdicate me.
I can tell you from experience that losing everything that you thought you needed or wanted does not have to mean that you don't go on and find new things to be, to want, and to take joy in.
I mean, in the case of being abdicated, it kind of does, though.
You're not helping.
Well, alright, look. We're gonna have to go out and talk to the guards. I imagine that's gonna take about 20 minutes. We never saw you.
Thank you. I swear I won't waste this. And I am so sorry for everything.
Go forth and do better. Because you can.
I will. And she walks deeper into the archives, and as she does, this mist, which is still present, just sort of swallows her, and you don't see where she went.
We can, however, tell them there was a crumb spawn. I think given all the damage, they'll believe that.
Yeah, easily. Oh. Okay. Hey, Giselle, did you get to do fire?
I did really good. Fire.
I knew you would!
And as she walks in alongside Nim, you see her hair is still flaming blue for a moment, and then it just... and it all turns back to normal, and she's in pretty good control right now.
Look at you.
I think this deserves cake.
Yeah, cake!
You deserve cake.
Breakfast cake.
Breakfast cake
it is breakfast, isn't it? This has been a hell of a start to the day.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do breakfast cake.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
So, you guys walk out of the scriptorium. You see that while there are still jutting monocrystals in different places, there aren't nearly as many of them, and the ones in front of the gate seem to have been removed. You can talk to the guards. Whoever's doing that can roll a persuasion roll to try to paint it how they want.
I'm actually very sure your persuasion is better than mine, so I'm just going to step back on this.
You can roll to give them advantage.
Yeah, please do.
Take it.
Do you need some encouragement?
It wouldn't hurt.
So we all roll.
Oh,
and we
okay,
give our
so-
roll to...
So hold on, what am I adding to this roll now? I got advantage, so I got to go a second time. So I'm adding encouragement. That's what, 3?
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
That is all for right now.
Okay, so that's a 26.
26. Okay, so describe for me how you paint this to the guards.
My main focus is going to be on what was there. Minimal speculation on how it happened. But I'm going to go into as nauseating, like literally nauseating detail as I can about all the bodies and about how the crumb spawn was made out of all these bodies, and there were faces in the side of it, and there were teeth in the muscle vines, and that is the focus of this story. I'm going to gloss over things like, don't really know how this happened in the first place. Must have been some kind of spell went wrong, but man, I tell you, this thing, and the main focus is just on how gross it was.
Okay. So, as you do that, the guards seem to believe you, and they take it into great consideration. And you seem to have painted exactly the picture that you wanted to paint.
Everything they find in there is going to back up what I said, so...
Mm-hmm. So, you guys head toward the inn for some breakfast cake. And while none of you are there, as the guards begin investigating everything, a particular armored figure who is the first right hand to the queen herself, not Angelique, but Sean, steps in and looks at everything. And then he looks to this person beside him who is a member of the guard and adjusts the white gold feather ring on his finger. And he says to them in a spoken voice, "The trial was a success." And that's where we're going to cut it for tonight.
God damn it!
Aiden.
So, thank you guys for joining us. Also, in 2 weeks, we're going to have another guest on. So, be ready for that. We're very excited. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining. Happy Halloween. I hope you have a spooky, safe, fun Halloween time. And until next time, everybody, whether it's on the page or at the table, tell your story your way. Bye.